everybody. So as you can see, today we are going to be talking about emotion poems. What is an emotion poem? You're probably wondering. Well, these are some of my favorite kinds of poems because we're going to really use our five senses to describe an emotion that we're having. What are our five senses? What we can see, our vision, what we can hear, what we can smell, what we can taste, and what we can touch. Remember, we learned all about those great vocabulary terms. So one term that I think is very important in this lesson is mood, right? Because we're talking about emotions. Mood is the feeling that the author wants you to get after listening to the poem. So mood is going to be really important. Other terms, poet, who's the poet? You're the poet. You're going to write some lines or some verses. Then let's talk about this. What exactly is an emotion? I'm sure that you guys all know the answer to this, but emotions are called feelings, right? You know, you're either happy or you're mad or you're scared. You can feel them right back to the senses because of what you see, you hear, you remember what you do. And today what we're going to do is we're going to pick one emotion, and you can pick whatever emotion that you want. And you're going to talk about how it makes you feel, what you hear when you think of the emotion, what you see when you think about this. And I really want you to draw on your memories. Maybe when you think about a vacation that you took, you think of an emotion. Maybe when you think of the summer, you think of an emotion. Maybe there's an experience that you had in your life that was a very powerful and strong emotion, whether it was loneliness or sadness or excitement or fear or anxiety. So I want you to go back in your mind and think about that. So now, how are we going to write this poem? What is this poem going to look like? Well, let me tell you exactly what it's going to look like. Line 1, this is a favorite of mine. What color does your emotion remind you of? So an easy one, let's say my emotion was sadness. I might say, sadness reminds me of the color blue. Next up, I might say, what does it taste like? Well, let's say that my emotion is happiness. I might say, it tastes like freshly cut pineapple in the summer. What does it smell like? What if my emotion was anger? I might say, it smells like a burning fire. Whoa, what does it remind me of? What if my emotion was loneliness? Loneliness reminds me of the first day of school when I'm the new kid. Wow, what does this emotion sound like? Well, let's go back to happiness. What if I said happiness sounds like fireworks on the 4th of July? And last, what does it make you feel like doing? What if my emotion was fear? Fear makes me feel like hiding under the covers. Now, something that I really want to remind you guys is when you're writing this poem, I really want to make sure that you capitalize the first letter of every line, okay? That's going to be really important. So I picked a color, we picked a color, your teachers and I picked a color, maybe a color that you might not choose. So that's way it's a good way to give you guys an example. So let's read our emotion poem. Shyness is light gray. It tastes like sour candy. It smells like an old car. Shyness reminds me of the first day of school. It sounds like when everything is quiet. So that's all those fun sort of descriptor sensory words, just down to one color and one emotion. So in your assignment, you get to take a color and you get to write a poem, just 6 lines. You can get creative and you can make it rhyme. You don't have to make it rhyme. You could get creative and you could write the poem in that color. You can attach a picture to it. This is all about you. I can't wait to read what you guys have to write.